cans of vegetables. So this has got a long time to simmer. As that's simmering and cooking, I'll just briefly mention what I brought with me. A tarp from a sporting goods store here, $40 or so. Cheap sleeping bag from that same store, Canadian Tire if anybody is curious, but you may know that's where I do a lot of shopping. The fire starter was just a standard issue road flare from the auto department of said store. Whatever I could scrounge out of the kitchen. And this, typical folding chair, Outbound brand. It's actually broken, but works good enough. And then I just got, clothes from the thrift store on, keeping myself warm today. So while this cooks, I'll do a quick walk around before we lose our daylight, and then we are going to be eating good tonight. There is a garbage for my garbage, so that's convenient. And I'm the only one here, of course. Just gonna walk down. I think the bathrooms are locked up, but I'll check. Awesome. Washrooms are open. So sadly, there is a highway right there, so there's some road noise. But I drove in looking for a spot that was further from the road, and it's not plowed, so I got a little scared, and then I just decided I'll camp right here to avoid any problems. And a playground with a swing set over there, should I choose to indulge later. I don't see a lot of animal tracks out here, but I did see some out on the road, so I could take a look at what we might have out here for wildlife. There hasn't been too much wildlife around here, judging by the tracks lately, but there's a lake just up there. I'm going to go peek at the lake. That lake's a lot farther than I thought. I might just mind my stew and have another step 2. Step 3. So I tasted that. Basically, I think I got a little overboard putting that whole can of stout in there. So I had to water it down with beef broth and kind of chuck in some onions. Let that simmer some more. And of course, throw in a little pepper. All right. And you can add more liquid to the fuel here because I was not anticipating the stout to boil down such an aggressive flavor. But when I added the broth to it, that was fine. So, potatoes. I've never used canned potatoes before, but I really like convenient camping things. Okay. Diced potatoes. Got a date with the stew. And so do the sweet peas and carrots. And again, I'm not straining them because I want to water down that really aggressive flavor. We'll let that
Teacher's #1 wipe.
For professional grade brakes and suspension parts, trust the pros that know.
Mr. Turtle, How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
All right.
I didn't want to be seen as somebody who smoked, so I hid it.
All get to know each other here in the pot. Oh yeah. Looks like it's going to be a fine stew. You probably can't even see it from here. But we got this here. Oh, the beef is just falling apart. Yeah. Oh. Let this simmer for a while longer. I know people are going to be questioning whether I actually slept outside tonight or not. I'm throwing a time lapse on tonight so you can actually see the full experience of me snoring and tossing side to side all night long beside a mediocre fire in minus 15-degree weather, which is 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, it's cold, I'm not going to lie about that. But I got an ace up my sleeve. I'm going to put my other sleeping bag inside of this one. That should help get me through the night. A little bit of snow particles falling on this guy. And that's what I used the other week. The sleeping bag here. And I was just fine. So, I'll put this one inside of it. And that's the last ace I have up my sleeve. Because I know for a fact I'll be crawling to the car if I don't have this actually prepared. This other sleeping bag, again, from the same place. And I'll let it loft up, but it's polyester on the outside. It's very smooth and comfortable versus nylon, but both are equally susceptible to sparks coming off of the fire. So those two things should keep me alive tonight, but we'll see. We will see how that goes. All right, it is that time to dig in to some beef stew on the campfire. And wow, is this good. I'm actually going to get up and show you as much as I can here. The meat, if I can find a nice chunk of it here, just flakes apart. Like that, it's all delicious. Oh yeah. Doesn't get better than that. And like I said before, I'd go a little easier on the stout because that did impart quite a flavor on it. Maybe half a bottle would be pretty good. But I had some Band-Aids available to patch it all together. Fresh baked tray buns from the bakery. Oh, yes. Is this ever good? I'll be in a food coma tonight. So I hope you could see what it looks like. I know you can't taste what it tastes like over YouTube, but I have to give a big shout out to all of the beer donation funds, because really it helps me take a day off of work or an extra day a week off of work to be able to film this stuff. And I couldn't do it without you guys. I'm going to give another shout out to Dan and Chris from Paradise, California. They've been a good support as well. Oh yeah, that is good. You don't want to overdo it because you'll burn them.
FanDuel's dropping profit boosts every college football Saturday. So how do we spread the word?
I got it. We boost our bus with rockets and fly to tailgates everywhere. Wow. Get a profit boost every college football Saturday with FanDuel.
So glad the Bears are all hunkered down right now. So glad. There's probably very few people that have had to do this in the world, but I'm putting a hand warmer into the cooler I was mentioning earlier so that my modest breakfast does not freeze. And that should be enough to keep it going. And this is just like iron filings and some salt and stuff. And it starts to rust hyperactively, and it's an exothermic reaction, and just gives off enough heat to keep all these good things in there from being frozen solid in the morning. I actually have to put a few of these on to my cell phone, or one of them at least. Hopefully it won't wreck the cell phone, but I want to be able to record a little time lapse of me. I've never watched a time lapse of myself sleep before, but I guess I will tomorrow when I'm editing. Here's what happens. Got these packs. Gonna tape one onto the phone so that can film all night, hopefully. And then I'll tape one or two maybe onto this external battery pack. Lithium ion batteries do not get along well with freezing temperatures. I've had to do a little stuff to restart my tablets and laptops and stuff. Yeah, nothing safer than highly explosive battery wrapped up with warming pads, but should do the job. Before I get into bed, I'm putting all the wood I can on this fire. I hope this is going to be nice and warm. So far, so good. Feels cozy. Well, see you guys in the morning, and I'm gonna hunker down for a little bit here. Oh yeah, this is quite okay. Good morning. That worked awesome, actually. Crazy cozy night. Cool air in the face. And the rest of the sleeping system worked just fine. So I'm going to crawl out of my nice warm sleeping bags. And I'm not starting fire, but I'm going to get breakfast going. Oh, yeah. Am I recording? Let's see. Yeah, I am. So I really had good intentions of having a tomato with my breakfast today, but that froze. So no tomato today. Okay, the butane stove is working because I warmed up the cylinder. I had that little butane cylinder in my pocket. It's got it warmed up. But I'm just going to warm up a bagel and put some cream cheese onto it for a fairly simple breakfast. Unfortunately, no tomato. Yeah. So the one thing I did need to do last night was put my head under the sleeping bag a little bit because the snow was coming down. And even like right now, it's a clear blue sky, but there's these tiny ice particles that are falling down just from the moisture in the air. And they were falling on my face. So sometimes you have to tuck your head under the sleeping bag when it's super cold. You probably shouldn't though, because it'll put in a lot of humidity into the sleeping bag. But I did have to cover up, so here's the one purpose of a shelter. I normally don't eat the breakfasts because I'm in such a rush to get back home and edit, etc. But I am ahead of the curve because I'm using different software now, and I should be able to. It's mostly edited, so it'll upload pretty quick. Oh yeah, this will be good. Oh, pan toasted goodness. And I will cream cheese the bejeez out of these because cheese on everything, including breakfast. But one of the nice aspects of this setup is there's nothing to really tear down in the morning. I got to basically just stuff the sleeping bag back in the bag and roll up the tarp, do a final garbage sweep of the area, and then hit the road. An everything bagel. That'll get the day going nicely. Well, that definitely takes the cake for the least gear I've ever brought on a camping trip. It's quite freeing actually to not have to bring a wood stove, etc. And that was doable, absolutely doable. And a far cry from how I used to camp, back in the motorhome days. But it's a time to reevaluate your life when you find yourself drinking beer with a bunch of carnies in a Walmart parking lot on a Tuesday morning. So this is looking forward to the future and moving forward. So maybe I'll drag this stuff in one day with a backpack somewhere. Anyway, I'm gonna get this edited up for the regular Thursday video, guys. Thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, please subscribe also if you have. I promise I'll do my best to get more videos out. And I do have occasional surprise videos that pop up, so that way you'll see them as well if you're subscribed. But if not, you can just check in on Thursdays and there should be something up every week. So until next time, you're camping with Steve, and hunker down, guys.
A lot of my time was just spent physically searching for things.
Maybe you have some questions around travel and expense.
Benefits, compensation.
Those take a lot of time.
Or we just
Yeah. Welcome to being snowed in at Steve's place. We had a huge dump of snow, we got the plows in and cleared it. Then it snowed again. And our little car just can't make it up the hill. So we're going to get it plowed as soon as we can, and new tires on the truck, and we'll be more mobile. So I am camping in the yard tonight. I know it's not everybody's thing, so you can bail on this video if that's not what you want to see. But next week we'll be up to the usual stuff, out traveling around, provided there's no restrictions. So I got the summer gazebo tent. I'm going to set it up right here. It's going to be pretty cold tonight, about minus 14 Celsius, which is around 7 degrees Fahrenheit. And like, this is a summer gazebo, you know. This is more in place at a beach in the summer than it is out in the backyard in this type of weather. So we'll set this up. I'll throw in the heater, and I got to see if it's possible to survive the night camped with one of these with basically screens for walls with little wind panels. Let's see what happens. Let's get some heat in here. Mr. Buddy Heater. There we go. About 450,000 BTUs in this thing. Should do some toastiness for the long night ahead. When it's not used for a while, the propane leaves the hose in the pilot line. So you got to kind of let it run for a little bit to get the propane back out there. And eventually she will want to burn. But that can't come soon enough. It's a little chilly. Good, she lit. So once this is going, I'll move the propane cylinder outside, because if it did get too hot, it would be very unlikely that this would get too hot in here to cause the tank to vent. But if it were to vent with an open flame here, the tent would Hindenburg in like a second. So we don't need that type of a problem out here. I'm sure beautiful wife wouldn't be happy to look out the window and see that. Where'd you go there, guy? There, safe. Safe. All right. My favorite sleeping tool is a cot. Like that. Easy pop-out cot will get you through some slumbery situations, that's for sure. Yeah. An awkward sitting device. In there. Close this and let the heat saturate this place. Things are going to be off the charts cozy, I'm sure of it. I sure hope so. With enough time, this buddy heater melts all the snow into like a perfect hexagon shape on the ground. But this is not exactly as warm as when I've used this in my ice fishing hut. that ice fishing hunt, very similar design to this, except instead of screens, it was all like polyester stuff. So this, it's bearable, but you're well aware that it's cold. Like I can still see my breath, but there's radiant heat I can feel on my legs and everything from this. So it's you really are aware that it is I'm going to say winter, even though that's not for another couple of months, month and a half. But cheers, everybody. It's time to crack step number 2, because step number 1 has been accomplished of getting some shelter. And it is such a good feeling once you get the heat going, you get the shelter set up. And I know it's going to be very cold tonight. It's well on the way there right now. But just having that big burden of worrying about getting things set up, just get it done first. Don't turn step 2 into step 1, because there was a bunch of memes about that this summer floating around online. Oh, yeah. Peaceful out here. So fundamentals, the same sleeping bag I used under the bridge, same sleeping pad I used under the bridge, both incredibly bright, loud in color, but it doesn't matter here very much. And of course a Woods brand hammock underneath of it. This is an older one I've had for years. Still works just great. And that's, it should do the job for the night. It'll keep, I'll probably have to move a little closer to the heater, to be honest, because it's already feeling a little bit chilly. Gonna throw in a few more layers of clothes, because that's number 1. But that's number 3. This is number 1, number 2. You know how it goes. Yeah, that's melted a little bit of snow around here, which means it's time to cook up a little meal. And we got nothing fancy at all today because we're snowed in at home. I grabbed a small can of mini ravioli, and we'll dump that in the pan. We're going to try to make it more palatable, because being around home, I got a bunch of...
Pizza! We're trapped by dishes!
Don't worry, they've got new Dawn Power Suds. It traps, locks, and removes 99% of grease, so it doesn't get passed from dish to dish.
Clean and stacked.
Like ducks in a row. New Dawn Power Suds.
Orgain Creatine. It's good for your muscles and mind.